So you go to Memphis State.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Well, Memphis State, the thing about it is I was in love. And see, I had a girlfriend, Patty. And Patty and I wanted to get married. See, that we were a little bit late to get married. I'm telling you the truth now. I was about 19 then. That's kind of old man. And so I wanted to get married. So the coach up there said, well, you come back your sophomore year and you can. Well, I played freshman basketball up there. When I came back, he changed his mind. You know, he didn't tell me the truth. I said, well, adios, amigo. I'm just gone. I'm going to see how the other half lives. So I go to Chicago and stay 6 weeks up there and like to froze. And I said, Patty, I'm coming to the house. And so I go and get another guy, and he says, I know where another school is. You can go to another school, get a scholarship. That's how easy it was. I was a pretty good basketball player. I wasted my time up there because I didn't waste my time, but I could have stayed up there, and he had high expectations for me. But I wanted to get married, so we got married, and I transferred to a school in Shreveport, Louisiana called Centenaire. You don't remember old Robert Parrish? He went to school down there. Centenaire was a private school, but we played a lot of big team basketball, and I played basketball down and graduated from Centenaire College in Shreveport, Louisiana. So it was my ticket out, okay?
So what'd you do when you came back?
Well, I came back. I didn't come back home. The jobs weren't plentiful at that time. I went down in Perry County and started in the high school. There was elementary through 12 was 242 students in elementary through 12th grade. And I coached basketball and baseball and half football, all and taught, I think, 5 classes in my first year. Say 2 years there. Came back to Danville High School. And that's when the doors started opening, because I stayed there 3 years. We won 2 state championships, basketball championships at Danville High School. And I only stayed there 3 years. And so I worked my way into administration over at Austin High School when it was first built. I was first assistant principal they had over there. And then eventually I came back home to Mama, Athens High School, and I coached and taught up there for 5 years. And most recently was inducted into the Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame. You mentioned Hall of Fame a while ago. That's my 15 minutes of fame, and so my name is on that list.
So I guess you had a pretty good career then, as far as basketball.
Fell into place. It sure did. Yeah, for a country boy where I was raised, actually a rural slum. I mean, but everybody out there was raised in a rural slum where I came from. We didn't know we were poor because everybody was, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of like heard folks talking about living through the Depression, saying, well, we didn't know any different.
No, well, you know, up north they had the soup lines and all that kind of thing. We had our own soup. Well, I'm serious now. You ask your grandfather. We grew everything. Big old garden and our hogs, hog killing. Let me shoot him, Daddy. Let me shoot him. I mean, it was that way. Y'all ever heard of hog killing? Oh, that was an actual thing every year, hog killing. You raise your own meat, the big old hams. You go to out here to Cracker Barrel and get a piece of ham. We raised our own ham. We had the whole deal. And during the war, now everybody had a ration book. Everything was rationed. Each kid, Mom and Daddy had a ration book. We had a ration book. You take a stamp out. When you go buy gas, you use my stamp, this stamp. But when you ran out of stamps, you ran out of gas. You ran out of sugar. You ran out of flour. The staples that we didn't grow, you'd have a ration book for that. You'd have stamps in those. And anyway, that's the kind of raising I had. ROTC was required to, and I came along. I had to sign up for the draft. They drafted people back then, and I had to sign up for the draft. But when I got in college, I was in between all wars. I was too young for the Second World War, too young for the Korean War. I was too old for the Vietnam War. They weren't drafting people that age, so I hit it. Extremely lucky. But I had to take ROTC for 3 years in college. Air Force 1 year, and Army 2 years. You had to take it. All the guys had to take ROTC. And because of the Cold War, you all heard that, hadn't you, in your history books? You know, that was when I was growing up and in college during the Cold War, and they would have called us up probably the first one, because we had to drill and break those rifles down, put them back together. but I was never inducted into the military.
They were just getting you ready for it.
I guess so. They had to, if they wanted to draft, I guess I'd have been ready to go.
Let me ask you this, through all of that, what role has your faith played in your life?
Well, back in those days, you know, that's the reason it's gratifying to see all of you. Back in when I was your age, I regret to say that I don't know that it had a big part. I went to church. Mama made us go to church, but I had to get older before I really realized what it means to have that kind of relationship with God. And the older I am, the more what else is there to it, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. What else is there? This is the best life, and you know, the faith grows in a person, and that I evolved into a strong faith. And so if you feel like you don't have a strong faith right now, don't worry about it. You will. You will. You just pray a lot. And listen, you've got the best life. I want to testify a little bit here, start preaching.
Go for it.
This is the life you're living. This is the best life. But listen, folks, don't be taken in by this other stuff. I've tried some of that stuff. That's not where it's at. This is the good life. Even if you have problems, see, it's like that old choppy water. You go around over this bridge over Decatur and you see sometime when it's coming up a cloud and it's stormy out there and those white caps. Well, see, that's the way life is. You're going to have these white caps days and times, problems. But see, that's deep. Now, if you went down deep enough, it's just peaceful and serene under there. That's what faith is all about. Because these artificial things, they're tough. They're rough. You're going to suffer through some of those. We have, my family has. And some more than others. But if you have that deep, abiding faith, those things pass. And that's the good life. If people don't have that, what have they got to look forward to? You know? So don't be taken in. You're at the age now where you're going to be going off to people who are trying to persuade you, oh, nothing to it. Nothing's what you're talking about. That's where it's at. And listen, you're smarter than most people too. You're smarter than most people. If you're a Christian, you're smarter. You got better judgment. You're wiser than most people. Don't let anybody talk you out of anything or talk you into anything. You stay with it. Brother, I'm sorry to preach that a little bit, but it's a good life.
That's very encouraging, I think. The next question is going to be, what advice would you have? So I guess you kind of got that. Let me ask you this as the last question. What do you think, big picture, in terms of values, in terms of faith even, how do you think your generation is similar to this generation, and how do you think it's different?
Well, I think I mentioned that once, just alluded to it before. I don't envy you and I'm not trying to dissuade you or discourage you in any way, but let me tell you, you've got to be tough. And that's the reason I told you a while ago what I did about your faith. You've got to be tough, because there are more things to distract you and to tempt you than we had. There are more temptations. Drugs, there was nothing like that. Beer, of course, we get a hold of beer, slip around and get a hold of one every now and then. I hated the taste of that stuff. I was blessed for this taste of alcohol, but I sure did try it. But now, there are more temptations today than we had. But you're running into the same kind of situations that I had when I was your age. It's just more of those kinds of things that are trying to distract you. And you need to be real strong in your faith. Develop that faith. Pray to God that He'll strengthen your faith. And listen, there's nothing better than an old Bible. You know, if you want to just really strengthen that faith, just read that Bible. Take that Bible with you when you go to school, go off to college. When you go off to college, be sure you take that Bible with you. Don't let it gather too much of that dust. Stay with that Word. I'm giving that advice for all of us, me and you and all of us.